Howdy, it's me, Monabiz. This month I wanted to do something I really enjoy, and that's designing characters. I didn't really have a basis on this one. Normally I'll have something in mind, like, oh, I want something with, like, big claws and paws or something. I want something with a cool spiky tail. This one I didn't really have anything other than, oh, I want to design character. Monkey brain activate. So I started off with getting a pose down, because a pose can really determine where I go with the character. I started with a basic sketch of a pose, and then I kind of went from there, and I just start adding things that I like. I like horns, I like claws, I added little animal ears, because I like animal ears on creatures. They're funner to draw than human ones. And then I started building the body, and I was like, I would like it to be muscular, so I added very basic muscles. I got a reference of a sheep because I wanted the ears to be more sheep-like, a little lamb. I started playing around with the body. It felt very aggressive, so I wanted to give it like an angry face, teeth showing, because I really like drawing sharp teeth. And then I wanted to draw, I don't know, at the time I really wanted to draw glowy eyes with like also a glowy mouth. Because I don't think I have a lot of characters that mouths glow, let alone eyes, without like pupils and stuff. So I connected them together. I tried to do a third eye in the style that I was going with, but I don't think I ended up keeping that. It just kind of seemed out of place once I put everything together, so I just took that away. I started drawing like the lines of where some chains might be, like wrapped around a wrist and one of her ankles. I gave her really tattered clothes. I also gave her a bell because I like the colors with the bells. Bells are really cute, and they make fun noises. And I gave her a little crown, but I gave her a big crown because I was like, I need another point for the I wanted this piece to be like the eyes, the mouth would glow, and then I was like, well, I feel like another part should bring it together. So I added a crown so the crown could glow as well. I like the fluffy hair. I like all of this, so I'm gonna go and find a color palette. I tried with a bunch of colors and I was like, yeah, this seems okay, but then I was like, you know what, I don't want to look like an Easter egg because they were pastels, and I just didn't feel like the Easter egg pinks and greens and blue looked very it wasn't going to give me the result that I wanted at the time. So I went to a color palette randomizer and I just started rapidly clicking and hoping for the best. Eventually I found a palette that I was like, oh, I like this. Turns out the reason I liked it is because of one color, and it was the green that I used to make her like eyes and mouth glow. I changed almost every other color because I realized that as much as I like the other colors with the pinks and the reds, I wanted the green to be more at the front, to be more of a focal point, and the other colors wouldn't do that. So I end up along the way making them all very dark, making them purples and very far away from the pinks and the reds that they were. It took me a very long time to come to terms with changing the pink hair because I really, really like having the fluffy pink hair. After I put down some basic colors for the sketch, I refined the sketch with another sketch, which I don't normally do while I'm recording, but I was already recording from the start, so I might as well. Which is where I just go over it and I fix some of the anatomy or fix something that I don't like. I made the bell bigger in the second sketch. I added some more jewelry details because I felt it was just a little too plain. I made the claws really big and sharp and the hands really meaty. I really like the sharp angles that I put on her with like the horns and her like claws and her little toesy claws. I ended up using the crunchy brush for the line art for this because I'm still living in a whole different place with that brush. I've been cleansed. I found God with this brush. I love it. I don't use it a lot, but for sketches and for like small things, and sometimes when I feel like the piece could use a crunchy brush, I'm like, ooh, I know just the brush. It's this one. But anyway, I felt like this one could definitely use it because I really liked it. I think by the end I'd entirely forgotten that I even put like belly button piercings on it. So it didn't even get any detail because of how dark I made the rest of the picture. It's just like, they're there if you can see them. I don't know what I did with the muscle definition on her stomach. I don't think it's anatomically correct at all. but I really liked the weird little squiggle it is. And I was like, hell yeah, I don't know what this is, but we're going with it. We're rolling with this. I once again curse myself with adding things that I really don't have to add, but think will look cool in the end, but will take so many hours and so much of my patience. And that was the chains. I don't have a chain brush. I've thought about downloading one so I don't have to draw chains ever again in my life. But I never do, because I need to be humbled. Need to be humbled about the world. And if that's through having to draw every single individual chain and eventually giving up and just breaking it at the end, so be it. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't care if it's like the wrong size or if it just doesn't link up correctly. I'm like, you know what? If they can be 1,000 different sizes, I do not give two damns. They're just gonna be the way they are as long as they look cool enough. Because you see that they start small, and then I'm like, no, if I draw them that small, I'm gonna be here for decades. So I'm like, I'll make them a bit bigger. And then you can see as time goes on, I make them bigger and bigger because I'm just getting sick of drawing them. Because if I make them bigger, there's less to draw. I start getting confused on where the chains are supposed to link up, and I'm like, okay, hold on, I've turned it somewhere wrong here. On the other sides of the chain, I just stopped connecting them. I'm like, yeah, whatever. On the leg, I just kind of scribbled chains down willy-nilly, like no thought, head empty. And then I start filling in the colors. And I really did like the pink hair, but upon seeing the final piece, I'm like, yeah, the pink hair would have taken away from like the glowy green effect that I wanted. How I normally color is, if I have the colors already, is I'll put the base skin color down, and then in the next layer, I'll like take away and I'll like fill every other random color. But because I realized I'd be changing a lot of the colors except for the green, I took the green and I moved that to a different layer and just started, everything got its own layer, which it's not a common thing for me to do once I think I have all the colors down. I also added more jewelry because it with the horns and the top all having so much, I thought the legs could use more. It just didn't have a lot. For a reference, I don't normally shade it because obviously I want to color drop and take the colors from the actual image, and if I shade it, I could be color dropping the wrong color. I could be picking up the shading rather than the base color. But because this was like, I really wanted to show off like the glowing effect of the eyes and stuff, I was like, no, this one's gonna get shading, this one's gonna get some work done in. Again, another thing that while I should do, I don't normally, I put a color palette next to the character. I really did miss drawing characters. I've been doing so long of like working on the characters I already have, but for the most part, I really enjoyed designing characters just because I can. They don't need stories, they don't need any elaborate stuff to go around. I'm just gonna pretty character, cool character. That's what I used to do. I used to just design a character and be like, you can be put into anything. You're limitless. You have nothing but the look you have. And I'm gonna use that to my full potential. And the problem is when people ask me, "Oh, what's this story?" And I'm like, I'm about to lie. I'm about to make shit up right now. You're about to see the becoming of a character because I don't know. I just thought Pretty Lady was angry would be a really cool concept, and I drew it. I realized now, after looking over the recording and having this character for like a little bit now, a couple of days, I didn't end up changing her tail color to the proper color of her hair. So her tail color is her like in the middle of changing colors for the hair, because I must have selected the hair for some reason and not selected the tail along with it when I was coloring it. But you know what? It's gonna be a feature, a little tidbit for all of you that watch this to know that it was in fact a mistake. So thank you so much for watching this month's video, and I hope to see you all next month. Bye!